Hello and welcome to this edition of Diaspora Central. I am Ingles, and with us today, ladies and gentlemen, Diaspora, stand up because Houston is on alert for legs, specifically the Mahatma Gandhi district. It's just that dope. It's in the building.
Hey,
Jessica. Welcome to Diaspora Central.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's just that dope.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
A lot of play on words.
It is.
Yeah?
It is.
It's always been that way?
Yeah.
Yeah?
yes. I love words. Actually, English is my second language.
Yeah.
My first language, I'm Haitian. So
All right.
like
Haiti.
Creole, Haiti. And so spinning words. My name is Jessica. So when we speak and say the word just, Just, it sounds like Jess. So
Right.
it's like Jess That Dope.
Yeah.
And so it's like, wait, what did you just say? Yeah, I'm Jess That Dope.
There you go. Now, let's talk a little bit about you. So, you come from a big family?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about it.
I am the youngest of my mother's 8 and my dad's 10. So, I know, right? So altogether it's 13 of us.
Okay.
So let me not misspeak. My baby brother passed. So I was the youngest and not the youngest, and I'm the youngest again.
Okay.
But he's, yes. But yeah.
Yeah.
They okay. They ready.
They're okay.
But yeah, shout out to my family back in Miami.
Yeah,
Love y'all.
they in Florida, Miami.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you mentioned Haiti. When did you leave Haiti?
Well, I was actually born, my parents, both of my parents are born in Haiti. So they were born in Haiti. They came, my mom, I believe, was about 18, 19 when she crossed over.
Okay.
And so I have a song that's entitled Desaline 1804, where I kind of pay tribute to her and her journey, just understanding like how much she had to pretty much have the courage to go through and get on a boat and sail across the ocean to come to Miami for a better life.
Yeah.
And so shout out to my mama. And so, I was born in Miami. I'm the youngest, and here we are.
Yeah. That's the quest of opportunity.
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
The quest for peace, the quest for a better life.
Yes.
Right. And I'm glad that you appreciate that. So, what's your mom's name?
Anne Marie.
Anne Marie.
Yeah, Anne Marie.
Yeah. Anne Marie.
Yes.
Yeah. And you speak Creole
I do.
fluently.
I do speak fluent Creole. However,
Yeah.
if you speak to someone who's a native of Haiti,
Right.
they will laugh at my choppiness, but I definitely speak
Okay.
and understand it. It's a running thing where it's just like, American born, we say words a little bit differently.
Right.
But I do speak fluent
Yeah. And then the dialect also changes a little
Yeah.
bit because you use a lot more English words than
Yes.
Right.
Yes, exactly. See, you understand?
No, I totally understand. Yeah, I totally understand. Indeed. Yeah, so Anne Marie is the mom, strong lady.
Anne Marie, yes.
Yeah.
She is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you got most of her traits, or you got some from dad?
I think I'm a mixer of both. Yeah. Yeah. So even in this moment when I just spoke about my mom's journey of leaving Haiti to come to Miami, like I just realized like, well, I technically just did the same thing when leaving Florida and coming to Texas, right? My entire family is in Florida. So I'm the only one who just kind of ventured out and figured out the courage. So I'm assuming that part of the courage and that braveness and boldness is from her as well as my father. But yeah.
Okay, and what's your father's name?
Well, my father is Monday Z Floriel, Monday. So it's Mondesire spelled. But yeah, he actually passed, September will be a year.
Oh,
he passed.
our condolences.
Yeah, thank you. But I do find a lot of my, I guess, personalities and just figuring them out and like, I feel like that's my dad. Oh, I feel like I got this from my mom. So yeah.
Got you. Yeah. So now growing up, of course, in between those two worlds, because you growing up pretty much in a Haitian household, yet in an American city.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
once you walk through those doors, you in Haiti, and when you walk out, you're an American.
Yes.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about that identity. Right.
So for me,
at what point did you figure out that, okay, I'm sort of different?
Yeah, I actually love that question because figuring out my identity it gave me the boldness to be where I am today. And so, and the pride that I have in being who I am.
Right.
It's exactly that. I was living in both worlds, and I had to go to school, to learn the English language. But even when I was growing up, which wasn't too far ago, where Haitians were not,
Right.
Appreciated or well received in the community. And so I remember being in kindergarten, first, second grade, being made fun of because of my accent, or I didn't know English. Coming home from school, just walking home, it was dangerous because they
Right.
would, chase us and throw rocks at us. And, at some point I grew this fear of saying that I was Haitian. And I also kind of touched on that in my song as well. The Dessalines track that I mentioned previously. And so, I used to be afraid to say that I was Haitian,
Yeah.
and it wasn't because I didn't like who I was, but it was a fear, right? I have to
Right.
go out into this world.
Indeed.
And I'm alone. I don't have my mom or my dad or my siblings around me. I have to figure things out. And so at that point, it just became a thing that, you don't want to speak about,
Right.
and you kind of just hide. And so I hid that for a while, and just trying to, in a way, be received. So you want to be accepted. So now you
Indeed.
want to fit in, right?
Indeed.
You want to fit in with the people around you. You don't want to be bullied. You don't want to be picked on.
Right.
And so I started, paying attention a little bit more when in my ESL classes, English for second language
Yeah.
learners or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, I picked up and I was like, I'm going to learn this language and I'm going to be here. But fast forward where I am now, I think for me, I lost the identity where I used to speak Creole so authentically, where you would
Right.
think that I grew up in Haiti.
Right.
But because of the language barrier where I started learning English and I started losing, right? It's almost like, being watered down
Right.
version of my authentic language. And at some point I decided, like, you know what, this is who I am,
Right.
and if somebody want to fight, we gonna fight now, right?
Indeed. There
No
you go.
violence, right?
Yeah,
But
right.
if I have to defend myself,
you're gonna stand your ground.
I'm gonna stand my ground,
Yeah.
and I'm going to, speak up and advocate for myself boldly and in who I am. And so I think I find the beauty in me deciding to be proud of who I am as a Haitian,
Right.
and with parents who came from Haiti and the beauty of Haiti and all of its thing. And so I started like learning, like, hold on. And so Lauryn Hill is someone that I love as well. So I called it the miseducation of Jessica, right? Jess That Dope.
Right.
And so once I started doing my own research about who I am and paying attention to my family and the history behind us, I was like, yeah, I almost lost this. Like, hold on.
Yeah.
And so I find the beauty in that for sure.
Now, was there a specific event that kind of triggered that bolt of boldness that came out and was like, you know what, enough is enough. This is who I am, and I'm gonna stand up for who I am. Was there a specific event, a specific thing that triggered it, or you just kind of gradually got into it?
It was more so just understanding that I needed to know who I am. I needed to know why I am set apart from everyone else, right? I've spent a lot of my middle school, high school age trying to fit in so much, where I always did things differently and stood out. But I was like, but what is it about me that I want people to know and understand? And so it was just the self-discovery journey, right?
Gotcha.
And so when I recognized, like, moments where it was difficult for me to speak to my mom, right? Because being so indulged in this American lifestyle, the American dream, I want to have these conversations that you see the on TV,
Right.
These Full House, Family Matters type of
Right.
conversations with families, right? And
Right.
so I didn't have that. And so in so many ways, even in college, like, I wasn't speaking to my mom as much, just because it was like, how do I communicate what I'm going through in school with my mom now that I'm in this American world? Will she understand? And it was a whole thing. But I finding out, like, who I was and what I wanted for myself, I was like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's replay this a little bit, and how can I do things differently? And it really just took that for me to say, okay, before I know where I'm going, I have to understand where I came from.
Indeed.
And I recognized, like, yeah, Jess, you kind of allowed yourself to be bullied, right? In a way where you started losing who you were.
Yeah, I mean, but it is the process of growing up, because had you not been put in that corner, you probably would have never appreciated as much as you appreciate your
so
your
there's
heritage
beauty in the
now.
struggle. Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, do you know which cities your parents are from?
Yes, my mom. I know my mom is from Okap.
Okay.
And oh boy, so it's so funny because it's spelled differently.
Yeah.
On the map. It's like boring, or something. Borgne.
Okay.
If you look on the map for Haiti. And so my dad was in a similar area with her as well. So
Got you.
they kind of knew each other back
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, got you. And you got to visit the country?
I haven't yet.
Oh, you
so
haven't?
interesting in that.
Okay.
It's I know people look at me and I'm like, yeah, I'm very Haitian. Yeah. I'm always gonna be prideful, especially in this moment, right?
Right.
But every time I wanted to go, my mom they would frown upon it, like, no, you're not going without me. And so the past, I'm honestly gonna say like 5 to 6 years, every time we planned to go, something tragic happened.
Oh man.
So my goal this year is to definitely touch the land, and be there and experience it. And actually, I grew up, like I said, the youngest. So there's family members I've never seen, cousins. I've never met a grandparent.
Right.
So it would be great. I think, my great grandmother passed at 106 or 7.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I wasn't able to meet her.
Oh, good genes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do have uncles and cousins, my mom cousins out there that I would love to meet. So yeah.
Indeed. And see, and those are some of the things about African countries, or like other countries, that a lot of times don't get told like they should, or don't get exposed like they should here in mass media, right? Excuse me for getting tongue-tied here for a second. Because just look at that. Haiti, one of the countries that the only thing that they try to put on that country is bad things, right? Haiti is not this, it's not that, it's not that, right? You have people living until they're 106 years old, right?
Yep.
Which is a great blessing. But you know what? We had a very deep beginning. We kind of like jumped right into the deep end.
We did. It makes sense because that's always where I go anyway. So it makes sense that it went there.
Yeah, but we're gonna lighten it up a little bit for our audience, because after all, you are an artist.
I am.
Yeah, and you have music.
I do.
So let's go ahead and start with one of your videos. There's a song that you already mentioned twice. Does that song have a video?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Dessalines 1804. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Dessalines.
Dessalines 1804.
Dessalines 1804, right here on Diaspora Central Spotlight with Jessica, or It's Just That Dope. We'll be right back.
It's just that dope. And this one's for Haiti. I read that blue and red flag, rep 1804. It ain't tatted on my chest, but yup, I'm a Zouk. Might set on Louis Vuitton, riding on that horse. It's strength and unity. Lay you felt like force. I read that blue and red flag, rep 1804. It ain't tatted on my chest, but yup, I'm a Zouk. Might set on Louis Vuitton, riding on that horse. It's strength and unity. Lay you felt like force. Dear mama, please forgive me. I had no idea, ma, I couldn't see. The journey you took to sorti Haiti. Sur le mène bâtiment pour arriver Miami. You saw a better life, so you chased it. Things got hard, but you never quit. You used to be the sweetest girl, but life's a damn. You really set me up to win. I won't let your efforts go in vain. I will use the power of the blood that runs deep through my veins. Get ready, cause things about to change. The resistance you felt was nothing but growing pain. You made something out of nothing. I don't know the places that you've been. But there's one thing that I know. We got places we gotta go.
And we are back. If you have just joined us, you're now tuned into the Diaspora Central Spotlight with Gil Ingles, and our guest today in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is L'Église, l'école, like, hey, Larry. And it's just that dope. Yes, it is Jessica. Haiti is in the building.
Haiti. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Haiti. Now, nice video, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that song.
Ooh, okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, So that song actually was supposed to be a rhythm. And I learned what that was. Shout out to Lapana. She wanted me to be on the track with what I learned the rhythm is a instrumental that is used, but there's 4 different songs or variations of the song being used on this one instrumental, right?
Gotcha.
And so once we started working on it, some different things happened to where it was delays or whatever it was. It was just like, you know what? She and I had a conversation. She was like, you know what, Jessica? I don't think this is for you. She had an honest question. She was like, I don't think this is for you. She was like, we'll work together. Yeah. And I agree. She was like, because you're doing something different, and I feel like God is doing something different with you, and I don't think this rhythm is for you. And I think it is best. We agreed that it is best to kind of like take the track and do something else with it, right? But she gave me the idea because it was supposed to be a girls' night vibe, and so I just had like a 8-bar because I thought I was jumping on her song. I didn't know what a rhythm was, right? And so I thought I was jumping or being featured on her song. She was like, no, this is your song. And so that's what happened in the studio. We recorded it. It sounded well, but like I said, the conclusion was she was like, no, I feel like something else is happening with this. I was like, okay. And so agreed upon it. I sat on it for a while, had the lyrics, but I didn't have a beat. Didn't have a track to put it on. So I was like, you know what? And this was back in September. The first time I actually recorded the first version of this song was actually the same day that I found out my dad passed. And so just going back into that space, I was like, I don't think I want to do this song. And for some reason I was like, no, just keep doing it, right? So I still went into the studio, still recorded, and this was in September. So fast forward, I didn't get a beat until probably like March, I think it was, where I sat and I said, so many things was happening. I said, you know what, Jessica? Like, you have to sit down and actually put this out there that you want to do this, and you're going to find the right beat. So I'm very big on being intentional. I'm very big on speaking what the things that we actually want, speaking life, right? And affirming what we want and manifesting or whatnot. And so I sat on there, I said, this is going to happen by this date. If I don't find a beat for this song by this date, then I'm not going to move forward with the track. And so on that same day, that the deadline that I had was the time that I got connected with Wiggy versus the World. Shout out to Wiggy, who is the producer of the song. And once we it's always a moment of, for me, right place at the right time, like just a level of awareness. My friend who I met here months ago from Miami, so happened she moved in like December. She posted her brother in the stories, which I didn't know that was her brother at the time. I looked and I was like, hey, I need his information, literally. He and I had a conversation, and that was the same day that I had that deadline. And I asked him, I told him the vision of the song. I was like, here's the lyrics. This is the original track that it was on, but I want it to be fun. I want it to sound tropical. I want it to be something that everyone feels like they could just dance to. And he went in, and that's what we got. And it's been a great journey and a beautiful journey at that ever since.
Got you. So that has been your official debut as an artist.
Technically, no, because I've actually my journey as an artist actually started years ago when I was actually a Christian rapper, right? And so I was in that space, and you know, I knew that I could go far in that space as well, just because it wasn't popular then. It wasn't a Christian rap. I see certain things happening now. I was like, I was actually doing this back in the day. But for me, again, different level of awareness, different level of understanding self, different level of awareness and expansion spiritually and spirituality and understanding my journey. I have a different insight of life and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it, right? And so my foundation is still there, but I felt like my reach would have been limited in what I actually want to do, because it's always bigger than me, right? And so that's where I started. And so I took a detour in a way, because I didn't think I was going to record. I didn't think, like, even to this day, I was like, how did I get back into music, right? But it's one of those things where I didn't have a real, I know some people who are like, music is my passion. This is what I want to do. This is, I have managers, I have this, I have that. it just came to me.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like it's finding its way to me, and I like
chose
that.
you.
I guess it chose
Yeah.
me in a way, and
Yeah.
so and I enjoy it. But I always knew that my brand is more than music. My business is more than music. Literally, the pun in words, the play in words,
Right.
because it's more than music. I always knew it was going to be more than music,
Right.
and I was like, if I put a song out, it's going to be more than music, but it's going to be a message there in the music, but everything else that I do with it is going to be in collaboration with what I'm doing. So
Got you.
it's been great.
Yeah. No, it looks like it has been great. So now going back into your infancy, and starting with schooling, right? As you this kid who's live in a household where you used to speak in Creole, and all of a sudden now you realize that, oh wow, the rest of the world speaks English, and I have to learn English, and my English is not as good as everybody else's, so you have to readapt to that. I know that there are people in there that kind of not only hold your hand, kind of walk with you. Can we go through that journey a little bit, and then try to identify also at what stages did you kind of start seeing maybe already the ability to put words together and to do music, to do something that today you see fully manifested as the road ahead of you?
Yeah. So,
Loaded question.
It is, but it's a great question because the other part of me is being a life coach. So if I can introduce myself, I say I'm Jess That Dope, the rap and life coach, and it's more than music, right? And so my purpose and passion is to be a life coach, and specifically to tailor to target audience of young women in college. And the reason being is because for me, even with the loaded question, I've been seeking guidance. I've been looking for guidance. I didn't necessarily have someone who held my hand to say, this is what I'm doing for you, and this I want to show you. Certain things I have that now because I know how to seek it out. But when I was younger, it wasn't that, right? So it made me become very observant.
Right.
So I observed people around me who were doing certain things and carried their themselves in a certain type of way that I kind of like, oh, I like that, I don't like that, I like that, I don't like that. And it's no one's fault. When I
Indeed.
in my space of self-awareness, in my journey of discovery and understanding who I am, I had to have that forgiveness moment, right? Because you do go into a space like, oh, I didn't have this and I didn't have that growing up, and I had to stop and reflect and say, it's nobody's fault though, right?
Yeah.
Because it has benefited me in so many ways to be who I am.
Exactly.
And so my parents split when I was 6. And so from then on, my mom with her children, she's figuring life out. Haitian immigrant, so it's like she's learning the world herself.
Right.
And so I had to put myself in her shoes to kind of identify like, okay, what could have she, been feeling in her perspective in her shoes. And it helped with me recognizing, okay, I didn't get the guidance that I would have liked.
Right.
However, I'm in a space now because of all of the things that she did.
Indeed.
In order for me to be in a space where I can seek the guidance or be where I am now, right? And so I can't pinpoint like, oh, this person made this life-changing thing in my life. I think it was everybody around me in my innate want to be great, I guess, and so, or be successful in some certain type of way, where that drive to kind of just pay attention to the world around me, to identify like, okay, what route could be the best path for me. I didn't know, but it was like, oh, I liked this person did this, and the result that they got, I like that. This person did this, and that's the result they got. I don't like that, right? So it was literally that.
And that's a high level of intelligence, right? Because intelligent people learn by actually watching what other people are doing instead of having to do themselves, try it out, and then figure out the right or the wrong way. Right.
That's true.
They say that the difference between an intelligent and a smart person is that a smart person will have to try it, fail at it, and then try it again, while an intelligent person will simply watch somebody else doing and figure out how to get it done either the same way or better.
Well, thanks for calling me intelligent. Okay.
High IQ. That's what that is. And then, of course, also, I think most of us that kind of came from a different place and grew up here had that, because in all honesty, the reality or the truth of our parents or our guardians was not the same as our reality or our truth.
Absolutely.
Right? Because even a lot of times in their mindsets, it was always the idea that they were coming in temporarily to then at some point go back to what they knew as their life, right? And to us, it's always been like, okay, this is my life now. This is where I am, and this is where I need to create self. So the approaches are definitely different, and forgiveness is really an important thing, because many kids today go through the same thing, and they find themselves in that position. And the one interesting thing that you mentioned is the fact that by not having it, you saw that it was necessary to actually be that to others now, right? And so in that space right there, you have created a good thing, not only for self but also for community, because it has made you this how can I say, you're not just vocal about it. I mean, you're not just an activist. I mean, you really that community. It's like you involved not only in Haiti but in other Caribbean associations, and let's kind of in a few seconds get into a bit of that also, because that's the portion of you that a lot of people don't quite see. And I want to get into it the following way. You mentioned the way you introduce yourself as a life coach. So with the basis of that introduction, it really sums up who you are to a T. That's what I found interesting, right? That's what I found interesting. And I completely understand that that journey was rubber to the road, right? Healing and growing thick skin, right? Real scars.
Real scars.
Yeah, real scars, right. And that makes it authentic, right? To what schools and what neighborhood or neighborhoods do you owe that to?
Born and raised in Little Haiti, Miami. And so graduated from North Miami Senior High. And so then journeyed and ventured to college, which is an interesting story because my mom didn't want me to go. But I decided to go anyways and ended up in Jacksonville, Florida, at Edward Waters University. I'm hoping this is a question you asked.
Yeah, yes,
okay,
it
great.
is. Yeah.
So got my degree in education at Edward Waters University. Go Tigers, I love y'all. And so, I actually was a former teacher, former certified teacher. So my career was in teaching. Something that I knew and understood about me at a very young age is I'm a teacher, right? And my young mind just conformed it to what I saw. Oh, I'm gonna be a teacher, right? Teacher in a classroom. And so for about 6 years, I kind of like taught in various spaces, and I was bouncing around. I was like, I don't know, maybe it's this school. I charter school, private school, public school, different grade levels, and I was like, this isn't it, you know. And I found myself always wanting to teach life, right? I always wanted to teach like the real, right? Because let's be honest, like there's politics in teaching when you actually think about the background of it, right? But as a young child, you don't know about all that. Right. You don't know about the lesson planning and all of the, you have to teach to a test and all of these things is happening. Right. But for me, it got in a way of actually like helping a young mind grow, right? And helping them understand who they are, right? There's different learning styles, you know, whether you're auditory, whether you're visual, whether you're tactile. So who are you? What is it? What speaks to you? And there wasn't room to teach that, right? And so once I figured that out, I was like, I don't want to be in a classroom no more. And so I was a student life counselor for a boarding school, and I was a career coach for an alternative school, and I loved those spaces. But then I also found that I didn't really like just waking up on the clock on a hamster wheel type of thing, like the cookie cutter every day doing the same thing. And so once I recognized, like, well, aside from my education degree, my ideal was to have a minor in psychology. Okay. So I got my first 2 C's in college, And I was like, psychology isn't for me because I was also an athlete.
Got you.
It's a whole thing.
So which is good. So what sport did you play?
I played basketball.
Okay.
I also did track in college, and I also did cross country.
Okay.
Let me not say did track in college because people gonna think I'm super fast. I did the field events in college.
Okay.
So on the track team, and when my coach,
but she's super fast.
But when my coach decided, hey, we need some extra points, Jessica, go join this team and run.
Right.
We'll do that, right?
Yeah.
But and so being a student athlete, new city, learning a new schedule, you're away from parents and.
Right.
It was like waking up at 4 a.m. to get to the gym at 5,
Right.
schedule class at 8. That it was a lot. And so seeing the season, I was like, I have to keep my grades up because I was on an academic scholarship,
Right.
More so than a athletic scholarship. And so although I had space to have that, I didn't need it because my GPA was great and I was able to get, money there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm here, but my GPA needs to stay up because how else am I going to pay for school?
Yeah.
And so when I got those C's, I was like, yeah, I don't think psychology is for me. But it really was. I loved the content, but I think I couldn't indulge myself into the content, right?
At that point in time, probably that space.
In that space,
Right.
yes, absolutely. But I always liked the way people think and logic, and I'm very inquisitive, so I asked a lot of questions like, why did you put that together?
Right.
How did you conclude that? And I guess, again, going back to my infancy, just observing and asking questions and always wanted to know,
Right.
and grow.
Yeah.
And so I wanted the same for my students because I seen so many things where I couldn't just sit and tell them like, oh, I see why you're struggling. Like, you don't learn this way.
Yeah.
Right. But they need to figure that out on their own. But I didn't have the time to kind of like help them navigate that space. And I was
Right.
like, the classroom isn't for me, but what is? And so at some point about a few years ago, I was like, wait, there's an alternative to this, right? You need a license to be like a social work or a psychologist and certifications, all of that. But life coaching, you need to be certified. But a lot of it is based off of real stuff, right? Just your experience.
Gotcha.
It's not necessarily everything from a textbook that you're trying to learn and kind of like put in a metric to
Okay.
kind of like identify somebody. It's
Right.
like, no, let's have a real conversation
Yeah.
from my experience and knowledge of this based off of real life. Like, how can we help you navigate this space?
Right.
And it's not attesting to anyone's like where they were. So I don't deal with like trauma or
Right.
anything like that. But it's like, okay, where are you now and where do you want to go?
Right.
And I love that because I had to dig to figure out, okay, where are you right now, Jessica? Okay, where are you trying to go?
Right.
And yes, I had to do the work to figure out where I was in the past, but figuring out where I was in that moment to get to where I am, like I was like, that's fruitful.
Indeed.
So I wanted to share that.
Indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough space to be in. But you know what? Deep again. So we gotta kind of come up a little bit and lighten it up a little with another music video. And we know that you have good music out there. So which video do you want to showcase now?
We didn't tap into the third one, but we spoke about Laui. So Laui is basically in the Haitian culture, we have it's 3 L's: l'église, la caille, l'école.
Okay.
L'église is church, la caille is home, l'école is school. So those are the only places that your Haitian parents want you to go. Like, you're not going to a friend's house, you're not going anywhere else. You're going l'église, la caille, l'école.
Right.
And so being older, and I was like, this is a girls' night, this is a girls' vibe. I'm like, Laui, it's an L word. We outside, we in the streets, right? And so
There you go.
it's kind of infusing who I am, just like both worlds, right? It's like, okay, we're older now. Now we can choose where we go. And, just choosing to go outside and hang out with your friends doesn't make it bad.
Right.
But we outside. So Laui, everybody.
All right, so let's go into Larry with It's Just That Dope. Right here on Diaspora Central Spotlight. We'll be right back.
911, it's an emergency. Girls night out tonight, we about to kill the scene. Yes, one nous tell la caille, nous pas de casse sorti. That's why y'all n'a pas en zone, nous no Larry. Let's go. Girl, we outside. Grab your shoes and purse, put your makeup in the ride. Cause we bout to slide, have a bon tea vibe, like a belle gouillard. Like a belle gouillard. N'a pas le danser, 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 doucement. Souquel, 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 tout le monde. Danser, 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 doucement. Souquel, 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 tout le monde. Belle dames coming through. crew. We headed to the bar and I need the babaku. I need the 5-star with the hint of pineapple. Tout nèg yo swap cause they know we got the juice. Assoya c'est pour nous. Nous pas parler de nèg, nous pas parler de timoun. Get on the dance floor, nous gen rendez-vous. Toute femme haïtienne, toute Jessou, nous n'a pas le danser.
And we are back. If you just joined us, you're now tuned into the Diaspora Central Spotlight with Gil Ingles, and our guest today, it's Jessica Georges. Yes. Trained as an educator, a lover of music and art. Today, an advocate for community, an activist, a full-fledged musician, and still in search and in that journey for more.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
So, let's talk a little bit about Larry.
Yes. So, Lali is just a song for young women, anybody actually, just getting together and choosing to just get away from the stresses of life, right? You know, if you watch a video, you'll see like I'm speaking to my friends, and these are like real things, right? Hitting my friends up like, oh, work is this, and you know, if they have children, it's like kids and relationships and all of those things. And sometimes you just need a breather, right? And so it's just, look, we're not talking about men, we're not talking about kids. We're going outside and we're having a great time. Yeah, on the dance floor at that. So yes, and it was also, I would say, it was also inspired by real experience. Actually, it portrayed exactly that in that music video because I knew that played a part in actually getting a vibe for the song, like just to dance, right? When the part where I'm saying danse, danse in the song is literally just dance, 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 like just dance. And then, you know, just a way of adding a way of being. Guyad is more, and compa is more like a sensual style of dance. And, you know, American-wise, now with women is like the twerking world, right? So when I'm saying like souk it just means shake, but shaking in a way where it's like really cute, really elegant. You just dancing with your friends and you having a good time. So yeah.
So that's a sensual shake, not a sexual shake.
Not that. Yeah, just a cute little vibe. We gonna dance. We gonna be on it, but we gonna look cute while we do it. Yeah. So yes.
There you go.
So yes,
full rounded person. Look at that. Very very serious. And she said that she's ratchet. Do you really think you're ratchet?
You know, we have moments where we just want to have a good time, right?
Yeah. I'm just poking fun. Don't pay attention
I'm not
to me.
ratchet y'all.
Yeah, I'm just poking fun. Don't.
No, yes. No.
Don't, not at all. Now, yeah. So that's your latest video, right?
That's my latest video.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who produced the song?
So the song was produced by Wiggy versus the World. He's in Miami currently. I think he's moving to Atlanta, but you can also find him. He's an amazing musician, and he captured exactly what I wanted. And mind you, we did this being in 2 different locations, so his professionalism was on point as well. Technology is amazing now, right? Indeed. So he was able to like construct some things and help me hear it in real time, and so we're FaceTiming and having conversations. I like this, I like that, and it was just dope.
Yeah,
kind of construct that together. Yeah.
Now the vocal production and the arrangement, you did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
so
right.
everything was written.
So you have co-producer credits on that song.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Now, from a perspective of a musician, like what are some of the barriers that you're finding as an independent musician that you finding that you having to overcome?
I think just one, definitely my message, right? I make sure that I say things that I mean and mean things that I say. Okay. In the sense of making sure I'm paying attention to the words that I speak about myself and life, and especially understanding that it could be on repeat, right? And so even if someone is listening to it outside of me, they're still speaking those words about themselves. So I'm very cautious of what am I saying to the world about who I am and who I want to be. Right. And that isn't the space and time or the vibe of the everyone else, right? The popular scene.
Right.
It's
walk
not
the walk
that.
and talk the talk,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Sometimes it's front until you make it instead, or make it look like, and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the message in every popular song is completely different than the message and the vibe that I have on mine. And so that's the biggest barrier where, you know, they look for things that they can sell. That's all it's about, right? Where for me, it's more the music. So I don't have that burden of like, oh, I need to go into the studio and like, I need to create 10 dope tracks because I have an album and I have a contract to. I don't have that stress. I'm flowing with it. And if it finds me, it finds me. If it don't, it's like, okay, cool.
There you go.
And so I'm enjoying that journey and the fluidness that I have and the flexibility and just the creativity that I can kind of like do it there. But also just being a woman. I know when I, you know, first started out jumping back into the studio, just having the conversations with people just to make sure that they knew I was serious. And of course, there's scammers in every world, right?
It's part of life.
But yes, but knowing the language and me not afraid to ask questions. Shout out to Jay Smooth, producer Jay Smooth down in Miami as well. He was the first producer I worked with. He taught me a lot of things. He would say certain things and knew that if he said a certain way, I would go back. A certain word, I would go back and do my research about it. And I'll ask him questions. He's like, okay, she's trying to learn. And so he helped me in so many ways. Shout out to Jay Smooth, y'all. But he helped me in so many ways kind of like navigate just by throwing some crumbs, because I was like, I'm always looking to learn. And because of that, I was able to learn the vocabulary of the world of music to where when people approached me, right, as an independent artist, they knew they couldn't just like pull one over on me. Just because they'll say things like, oh, I can help you do this and I can help you do that and I can, and it's like, okay, well, let's have a conversation, right? And so once I start like moving things and having a conversation, okay, what does this look like? What does that look like? Well, this is already set up to do A, B, C, D, F, G. You know, it's on the platform, it's on Apple. You're trying to tell me that you're going to put me on a Spotify playlist where my song is already on Spotify. What else do you have, right? And so now they're like, oh, I need to stop hitting her phone, right? And so especially the world of chasing to perform, I don't do that, right? And it's like, if it fits my style, then sure, but if it doesn't, I know I'm not for everybody.
Indeed.
I'm not for everybody. Everybody's not going to vibe with my music, so I can't be in every space trying to perform.
And that's the most important thing when it comes to being a musician, really, or a performer. It's knowing your space and when is it that it is even right for you. Because anytime you force yourself into a position, chances are that you're going to lose. Right? You're going to lose. Either you're going to lose your authenticity, or you're not going to be at your best, or you're probably not going to get your money. Right? It's one of those three will go. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So really knowing that, and that takes a lot of inner studying, also inner sensing, because you gotta know exactly who you are, right, and exactly what you want, and a lot of times, I mean, especially with social media, everybody wants to be this mega star who's got 1 million followers and
influencer life,
and so if you're not careful with that, you can really derail your career, right, instead of building it organically to a certain point, because eventually you get to the mountaintop and it starts to slide. It's just the way it goes, right?
Absolutely.
You build tenacity. Eventually you'll be faster than everybody else who was just not doing it. And looks like you in that space right now. And congratulations.
I feel like I am. So thank you so much. I knew when I put music out before, and trial and error of different things, like this was something that I definitely just had to just do, right? And, you know, no one in my family is a musician, did music. Like, my family didn't even know I was in the studio, right, when I first had my first song. And I'm very protective of my vision and knowing that people limit you based off of their own, you know, limitations and fears. And so, you know, I'm just a private person. So if I'm working on something, if you're in it with me sitting at the table, then you know. But other people, they don't know until it's dropped. So when I came out as an artist, people were like, wait, what? Like, what's, you know, so dropped the song and the visual for it. And even my family, I let them know first, though, before I actually released it and stuff like that. And they were very supportive of it and also shout out to y'all. But
I mean, with 13 siblings or 12 siblings, you got 12 streams as soon as the song came out.
Listen,
Like,
and it needs to be 24 by
Right.
the end of the day,
There
right?
you go.
So,
And that's all you for day one. You already done it. Like
Yeah.
you 30. You already like you 30 streams.
yeah.
Like in a matter of probably 24 hours. So you
Yeah.
already surpassed the 24 by probably 7.
Yeah, no, seriously. And so it's been
Yeah.
a great space to kind of just learn, right? To where learning the ins and out, learning the language, going into the studio, punch in and reverb and all, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But I love the fact that I'm never afraid to ask
There
a
you go.
question to understand, right? And so just learning it and being in the space and like, okay, let's do this, right? And so with Era, another song that I had was called Light, but I couldn't push it out because it had you only can use a certain amount of a beat,
Right. Yes.
and it was
a
actually
sample.
on the Fugees' Ready or Not beat.
Oh wow.
And I actually love that song too,
Yeah.
but I couldn't put it out. I tried to. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just put it out. They might not care about it because whatever.
they'll
But,
get you.
Yeah. So
they'll get you.
initially just wanted to drop like a 7-song album, and it ended up just being like 6 because that 7th
Gotcha.
one, and I was like, I'm
So-
not gonna stop.
So you
I'm
just
gonna
did an
put it out
EP
there.
instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just let it go out there, and again, for me, it's all about me just doing it, right?
Yeah.
Just because a lot of times we so critical about the pace and the
Indeed.
perfection of certain things, and this is how they did it, and this is how this is how I'm gonna do it. It
There
is
you
what
go.
it is.
Right.
You gonna listen to it or not?
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen. In a journey of self, only you can control it.
Yeah,
Right.
so-
Nobody else. The outside world can always watch and criticize, but you actually control the flow. So, what's the name of the EP that you had released?
It's called Evolve and Elevate.
Evolve and Elevate.
Yeah. So so my branding
Yeah.
butterflies and sunflowers. So butterflies is about change, evolution.
Okay.
And then sunflowers, from my knowledge, is the tallest flower, right? So when you're growing, right?
Oh,
and so
wow.
elevation. So
Gotcha.
evolve is the butterfly,
Yeah.
elevation is the sunflower.
Gotcha.
And that's part of me, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
it's funny.
we can see
But
now,
yeah,
even on your
yeah.
styling, you do that.
and I was like,
Your hair, your hearings.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But-
Well,
but-
that shows that you are definitely focused on. Yeah, that shows that you.
So I love that, and Evolve and Elevate was a journey. It was my journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
And so Light was more so about me deciding ready or not, here I come.
Right.
Whether some parts of me felt ready, some parts of me didn't, but I'm showing up, right?
Yeah.
And I knew that it was like, you have to do the unthinkable right now.
Yeah.
For your family, for your, for your lineage,
Yeah.
for your,
For self.
for self, and that was that song. And then so on and so forth. And I am, where I'm affirming who I am regardless of anything that anyone says. Love is, where it's like pouring love into myself more so than we have this moment where I had to step back from a relationship, and I was like, I did all of this stuff for this person. Why am I not pouring that love into me? Because we pay attention to all of the things what the other person want. What do I want?
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna do that stuff for me. And so, so love is about that. And I love the spin on that, the song and the wordplay on it, because it sounds like I'm talking about someone else, and the entire time I'm talking about myself and pouring love into myself.
Wow.
And then we have Just Us, which is to the Black man. Right. And so that song to me is my moment to sit back and think about the relationships that I didn't have with my dad, with my brothers, but truly understanding to value them regardless. Right. And so, it speaks to the love and the support that I will still need from Black men, because I believe in Black love. I believe in that. I came from that.
Okay.
And so for me, it's like, why wouldn't I support you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I be by your side? Why wouldn't I look at what the world is doing to you and understanding that there's no other way for us to build a kingdom if I don't have you next to me, right? And so, there's that, and that's the other video that I have out as well.
Yeah.
And it's just a journey of discovery. Like,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
No, which is really great. And with that in mind, actually, let's go ahead and take our next break, which is to take a look at the video, which is
Just Us.
Just Us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we come back, we're going to find out everything when it comes to relationships and even whether Jessica, Georges, or it's Just That Dope. It's still available out there, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
So for here on out, when I say I really mean us, we, she, me, her. I don't really care who may differ, cause I prefer to keep it real. I haven't took a moment to consider how you feel. You carry the world on your back and on your shoulders, black and strong like a hot cup of Folgers. I had to remember you the cup and not the coaster, for me to fill you up and I sit on you like the world does. Cause the system is against you, executive, legislative, and judicial. I got wrapped up in the scheme of things too. We gotta cut the branches off the trees from the roots. It starts with me and it ends with you. It takes us to bear new fruit. It's up to us to make the first move. We gotta get in our bags, Mamba mentality, develop a plan to continue our legacy. Without you, there is no me. There's no other way for us to procreate royalty. I must admit, I was bitter. What I should have done was look in the mirror. Maybe then I would have reconsidered how I treated you, cause of them we're both niggas. I became Mr. Everyone except you. Misguided, misinformed, misunderstood, mistreated, misjudged, to name a few. But it's time, this is long overdue. Stand in my place, the missus with your last name. Queen to my niggas, let us reign. Cause it's in you I trust, let's make it happen, it is just us.
And we are back. If you just joined us, tuned into Diaspora Central Spotlight. Yep, just us. Right here on Diaspora Central. Jessica.
Yes.
Relationships. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is Diaspora Central. And people that tune in, they want to know everything about the artist. So if I don't ask the right questions,
they're going to come for you.
Yeah, they come for me like straight up. It's like my comments they get real mean. So, and you don't have to answer if you don't feel comfortable doing so. Yeah. So where are you on that space, on the relationship space?
You mean intimate, like a?
No, I mean it's not necessarily intimate, but
relationship.
Are you
boyfriend?
Right?
Person?
Yes, that kind
intimate
of a relationship.
In
Yes.
that space.
Yeah.
No, I'm single.
Yeah. Okay.
No children.
Gentlemen, you heard. You heard. Okay. Yeah. Single, no children.
Yes,
go on.
Yeah, but relationships are extremely valuable to me now in all forms, and I'm learning to create space for that person wherever they are, right? To show up in so many ways, just because I've had relationships that weren't the best, but like I said, in my journey of self-discovery, understanding the love that is to come. I also have Almond Joy. That's a song where it's speaking to the person that is to come, and speaking that into existence of how I want to treat you, right? And the love that I want you to feel, and the nurturing and the gentleness and all of that stuff in Almond Joy. Okay. And so I'm open to it. I'm here for it. Creating space for it. I know when I first moved, I didn't have the capacity to want to be that person, because I know how much work it is to be in a relationship and to give yourself and think about someone else. And so because I wanted to make sure that I was grounded in what I wanted to do, and serving purpose, not just in a selfish way of I want to be this type of person in life, but just wanting to make sure that I understood the path that is for me, so that I'm not swayed any type of way when someone is in my life, right? Gotcha. And because it was a previous relationship that kind of made me pay attention to that, where the person wasn't comfortable with the person I am today. Okay, right?
So what was it? The success? Was it the assertiveness of who you are and how you felt? What exactly do you think?
It was, again, the fear of and the limitation, right? Because they didn't see themselves. How can you do
Beyond
something like a life coach and not having to clock in for someone like that? That was like, betting on me was like, I'm going to bet on me. I'm going to figure it out. Right. That person, in so many ways, and they have their rights, right? Didn't want that. In a spouse. They were like, I want job security, and that's fine. Everyone wants it. And I was like, okay, well, this is not going to work out because, and I played small for a long time, trying to kind of like, okay, what would this life look like if I was just this person for this individual? And it wasn't fulfilling. I had a glimpse of it, and I was like, no, I have so much to offer, and I'm still discovering all of the ways that I can offer it to the world. That's what I want to do. And, you know, when you talk about success, I guess it was which right now I want to say thank you to him, because now it seems like he saw something in me where it was like, oh, I could see her being so great that I won't be able to handle it.
Indeed.
Maybe, who knows?
Indeed.
But
no, and sometimes it is what it is, because you have to remember that the assertiveness and vision is not always given. Not everyone is a visionary.
That's true.
Right? Not everyone is a visionary.
Everyone hopes to be though, but
exactly. Right. Not everyone is a visionary. And with that, I'm not minimizing his ability to see. I'm just saying that you've been given greater vision.
Yes.
Right.
And I appreciate that.
And it is okay. You're willing to bet on self because you know exactly who you envision and who you feel that God has made you to be.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, where can people find more information about you, and how can they stay in touch?
Yeah, so I'm on all my music is on all music platforms. If you search Jess That Dope, JESS space THAT space DOPE, Jess That Dope. And then on social media, my accounts at More Than Music on Thread. That's a new thing, right? I think on TikTok I'm also at More Than Music, and music is spelled MUZEK. And
so like Creole.
Like Creole.
Yeah.
But they
French Creole, like French Creole.
Yes.
Right.
So I'm happy you brought that up. So More Than Music, French Creole, they use the I believe, MUZIK. So More Than Music is the EAE, is Evolve and Elevate. It's always in my branding. So I wanted to change that I into E, so that way I could always have more elevate.
Got you.
Then is the A and then music is Evolve. So
play on words, man.
So More Than Music. And on Instagram, I am... it's long, but if you search Jess That Dope, she'll pop up. It's just More Than Music, you'll see that. But Jess That Dope on Instagram, it makes it easier. It's a long tag, but it's there for a reason too.
There you go. Now, of course, you also an entrepreneur, because you are an independent life coach.
Yes,
or
I am.
coach,
if you want more information about that, it's info@SheTeach. She is also a acronym. Is Stride Happily to Elevate. And so in everything that we do, I believe in waking up happy, in no matter what it is, choosing happiness, choosing love, right? Being in that space. And look, when I got dressed this morning, I was like, I just want to put this stuff on. And I did. And now I'm like, wait, I got that earring on. But choosing love and being in that space, regardless of what's going on around you, I feel like help, escalate certain things and I guess accelerate. That's the right term. Accelerate the things that you want to actually come to you a lot sooner than actually being angry, because it takes more energy to be in that lower space. And we want to make sure our vibes are always high. So Stride Happily to Elevate, and She Teach, and that's also my life coaching page at She Teach. Okay. And so what else? What else I got? And if you want to know more about my life coaching, you can email me at info@sheteach.com.
There you go. Yeah. Indeed. So as you know, and all that information is also right there on the ticker line, so you can always kind of see it. And in case you need additional information, you can always reach us here at diasporacentral.net. We appreciate you taking this time out of your busy schedule to actually join us here in the studio. Just make us a promise that you will be back whenever you need to, and if you have to.
Definitely be back.
Our doors are always open, because the only thing that we do here is showcase diaspora culture and talent. That's what we do. And that entails everything, not just artistry. That entails everything. Business, whatever. Right? We showcase the diaspora. That's what we do.
I appreciate it. Yes.
And indeed. And for those of you that also took a little bit of time out of your busy schedules to kind of listen to this conversation, there's one thing to take away from it, is the following. Walk that walk. Talk that talk. Or talk that talk. And definitely walk that walk. Remember, no detours. No. Until next time, peace. Because if you don't do it for yourself, no one else will do it for you.